Hello everybody and welcome to my channel and my playlist, the English one, Sewing Made Easy. And that's exactly what I like to show to you. How easy things can be if you attack them the right way. Maybe some of you have seen already how I started to make this jacket for myself with the shawl color, with those lovely pockets, with a flap inside. And today all I want to show you is how I'm stitching the sleeve in. I prepared this sleeve so far with a plain vent on the side. The buttons have not been stitched on because obviously I will stitch my sleeve in the jacket first, long before I stitch my buttons on. So I explained to you here first of all how I do it under the machine, but the actual sewing, the stitching, I show you directly on the sewing machine. The reason is, on the sewing machine I like to give you a real close-up to my hands and to the sewing, how I do it. Therefore you cannot see the jacket like this. So what you have to do, have your jacket the correct way around, as you can see it here. The same with the sleeve. The inside is already on the inside, the proper side is facing you right now. So go inside your sleeve, look for the shoulder and find on your sleeve your mark that is exactly set for the shoulder. So just put those together at the moment as if you would have had it stitched it in already. You can check it here to make sure it's the right sleeve on the right side of your jacket. Now turn this jacket over to the left side, to the inside. And usually on many jackets you have a side seam here on the jacket, and the same on the sleeve. You might have the seam for the side exactly on that same point. On this particular pattern that I have here, it's not the case, because I have this middle part here underneath the arm, and my actual side seam would run down exactly here where you can see this little mark. The same I have on my sleeve a mark. So at the moment I'm just putting these together and I have just a brief look exactly what can I see. I got on both sides of my sleeve a lot of widths that I have to stitch in. So I can let go of this at the moment on the shoulder. All I do is grab this bottom where I want to start sewing, because exactly there is where I will start. And how I do this I show you now on the sewing machine. So here I am. I have my middle underneath the arm, practically my side seam right here. So exactly in that position, on my 1 centimeter seam allowance, I put my first stitches with the machine. Now you can have a brief look first of all again for your shoulder dart that you have there. Check it with the shoulder and have a brief look how much width you have to stitch into there. Usually if you have a half decent pattern, you will find somewhere towards the front, because this is the front, you will find some more marks. And they are usually very easy to get to, because the bottom part here, when you stitch a sleeve in, never has any widths whatsoever. So all you have to do is really just go along that first part without considering to have to hold any difficult widths into that part. But latest when you get to that particular point, you should look again at your shoulder and approximately see how much width you have to get in here now. It isn't so much, to be honest. So what do? This part I'm not trying to pull it straight, because then I'm bound to stitch all kinds of little falls into my material. So I don't want this. I leave this lying the way it wants to be there. But on this part here, which is my sleeve, because I'm always stitching on top of my sleeve, I hold very loose right away from the beginning. I never pull on the sleeve whatsoever. And you can see now I'm trying to, with all my fingers, like holding the widths in curves like that onto that part, although my armhole is going this direction outward because that's the way it's cut. And as I got an interfacing on, it's difficult to pull it straight anyway, so that's quite good. Anyway, I continue by pulling this sleeve always again towards this edge and trying to put as many widths into that part as possible. And sometimes it helps if you just lift the foot, because you can like put a little bit more width underneath the needle there to get in, but make sure your needle from the sewing machine is in the material. Otherwise you will not get a straight line of stitching. You will get all kinds of funny zigzag stitching, and that would be a killing for the sleeve, I tell you that. So we continue. I'm getting towards my shoulder here. Here is my dart, here is my marking, which I want to get on top of that shoulder if possible. So I keep on putting this material, as you can see, round underneath my machine. And now you see there is my shoulder seam, and that's my little marking on the top there. So I continue exactly when I got there and I'm right, I can just continue. And now in the back, I know on the back part of the sleeve there's always a lot of widths. But that is good because you want the sleeve to really roll around your arm, and that's why it's necessary to have that amount of width in there. So you do exactly the continuation what you've done before. You got to get that in there as well as possible. And you can see I'm stopping, I'm putting up my foot to be able to get a little bit more of my width underneath the needle there. In between, you can have another look how much is gone already, and so much width isn't left now. And I'm sure we're going to get that in easily now to the end of my armhole here. I'm getting to one of my seams which are ironed apart, so I make sure this is lying apart. The nicer the jacket will be, the more even and tidy I will work. And as you can see now, I'm getting towards the end. There's really nothing else to do, because down here again I don't want any widths underneath the arm. That would be totally wrong. And also here you can see I'm holding it round, and while sewing I go around the curve. And I just went a couple of stitches over. That's all I need to do. And when I turn this around, I have first of all a look if I have any funny zigzag bits of sewing into here, or if it's really going around my fingers like that. So now all I have to do is put some nice shoulder paddings in and hang it on the doll, and I'll show you the result. So let's have a look at my finished sleeve. At the moment I have not put the iron on top, which I got to do yet. I just got to slightly iron over it, then put my shoulder polster in, and then I can finish my jacket off. Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you liked my video in the way that I will stitch my sleeves in if I have to do a jacket or a coat or anything like that. And I hope you will try to do it that way as well, because that is really the easiest and best way to really finish off nicely a coat with a fitted sleeve. Because that is, I'm sure, when you've been spending lots and lots of time with your coat that you're doing for yourself or for a good friend or for the family, then you want the sleeve to look perfect in your coat. So, my friends, I say thank you for watching. Thank you for all your comments that I hope I will get from you from all over the world. And let me know where you're writing from and where you're watching me, because I love to read from which lovely states you're watching me. So I say thanks again until next time, because I will come around again with some more videos for you. Goodbye and many greetings from Germany.